Hey, this is CANNA-INDIAN. You can call me Rahul. It was amazing to be on Dro TV and share my experiences and get my word out. And hope to see you guys soon. Please follow me on Instagram. It's CANNA-INDIAN _. Follow me on Twitter. It's CANNA-INDIAN. Have a good one. Thank you.
Welcome to My First Time, the show about your first time getting high on marijuana. I'm your host, Mike Freeman with Dro TV, and I'd like to welcome our guest today, the CANNA-INDIAN. What's happening?
Thank you so much, Mike. Nothing much, as I said. I was enjoying the day this morning, and it's just got ruined. It started snowing, so I got to chill home and smoke something.
I guess it's not all. I guess it's not all bad then.
Yeah, it's not all bad.
You can find the CANNA-INDIAN on Instagram at CANNA-INDIAN _. Let's see, you're a budtender, a cannabis educator. Let our audience know a little bit about yourself and how you got into the cannabis space.
Sure. So my name is Rahul. It goes by Rahul. I'm from India. So I moved to Toronto like 2 years back in 2019 December with a dream of getting into cannabis industry, contributing to this plant that I love. And I have been using cannabis since 2014, since I graduated. So the first year of basically consumption was just fun. It was just getting high and nothing else. So later, I came across this documentaries going on in US and stuff like that. But that's a later part. Basically, I'm Rahul. I just finished my project management post graduation here in Toronto. And I'm right now an assistant multi-unit general manager with Fire and Flower. So Fire and Flower is a cannabis retail company in Canada. They have more than like 103 retail stores. Uh, so basically, I started with a bartender position with a small company called Satika Cannabis, and I moved here in December 2019, but 6 months later, I somehow found a way to get into cannabis industry. Just completed my cancel certification. That's what you need. That's a local certification, Ontario based certification. That's what you need to get into the industry. That's a first step. It's basic education on cannabis, basic knowledge on cannabis and how the retail space works. So I just finished the certification, got into the retail as a bartender, started the journey. It was like a dream because all these spaces that I used to work, I used to watch that videos back home that, hey, these guys are enjoying it legally, and it's something to it's an experience that is going on here in this part of the world, right? So that was a dream, and I was living the dream. Like I started living the dream. Uh, right now, it's almost like 1.5 year I'm into the industry. I am also doing a cannabis sommelier course. It's called Ganji. It's basically a 3-step sommelier course where you complete your first step online, where the instructors were one of the instructors were Frenchy Canoli, Swami Chaitanya. So these are the instructors of this course. Also, once I complete the first step, the second step is to fly to Humboldt County, which is the mecca of cannabis, which is in California. So complete your live training session, complete your exam, and then you get this certification and a title of professional cannabis sommelier, and it's called Ganjier. Ganjier is basically they're trying to uh, create a term for cannabis sommelier rather than calling them cannabis sommelier. We can directly call them Ganjier. Uh, unlike like do have wine sommeliers and chocolatiers and stuff like that, but we need to create a term for this uh, as well. So there we go. So this is basically me, a small part of me. I'm just managing 4 retail locations. I'm an assistant manager, so I'm assisting my manager, general manager, managing the 4 locations. Actually helping a bit in curating the menu, as I have a bit of expertise in that, and I'm also learning and studying about it. So yeah, I've got my microscope. I inspect all the buds that I smoke before before smoking. I just want to inspect and see what is inside, if the trichomes are built nicely, if they are intact nicely. It just, how how when you're hungry and you see the food, your mouth starts watering. As soon as I see cannabis, as soon as I see buds, and as soon as I touch them and start grinding them, my mouth starts watering. So it's a very good feeling. So this is a basic introduction that I can give about me. I'm also a small cannabis content creator, trying to create some content on Instagram, trying to educate consumers basically, because there are so many products in the legal market and consumers don't know what to go for, what products are good, what products are bad. I wouldn't say good or bad, but at least a right choice is, someone needs to be like, give directions to them to choose better products from all these thousands of SKUs that we have. So I'm trying my best to maybe put something, whatever, according to the guidelines on Instagram or whatever the platform I'm using. So I'm trying to educate the basic consumers of the country. And my dream is basically, I was also a cannabis activist back home. I have a dream base to get all this knowledge, spread this knowledge in Asia as well, because that is the place, the roots of cannabis, right? So it's gonna spread soon, but yeah, I wanted to take one step ahead, be one step ahead of uh, what's gonna happen in future.
That's great. And where was it that Frenchie Cannoli was one of the instructors?
So the course that I'm doing, Ganjier, so
Okay.
Frenchie was one of the instructors there. So the online courses that I was doing,
Okay.
There was lessons from Frenchie too. It was not live; it was all pre-recorded. But even Frenchie was a part of that course. Of course, he passed away. That is a very sad part. I was so excited to see him and meet him, like when I was planning to go for live training. But suddenly, I was so sad to uh, listen to that news. Yeah. So yeah, that was the course.
Yeah. Before, literally the month before I moved, um, a friend of mine who's been in the cannabis space for almost 20 years, he brought Frenchie Cannoli to the city where we were living, and he taught physically, we met him, taught a course on how to make, I forget this special type of hash. Um, but he was like one of the few guys left that knew how to
Yeah,
make this hash. And he
yeah,
was trying to spread and teach
spread
everybody
it.
how to make this hash. And then he made a brick. I mean, a brick. Like, and when we post this video, Rahul, when we post this video, I'm gonna add the clips in there. You could see some of the bricks, and we just had big hookah bongs, and we were all smoking out of it. Uh, it was badass. It was badass. I'm so glad I had an opportunity to meet him.
Yeah, I missed that opportunity, but I still know that I'm still like, somehow I'm like watching their videos from so many like past 7 years, 8 years. I've been just watching them. I feel connected to them. Somehow I feel just like connected to them. And I know Frenchie has been like, he has been to India and he has been to Milana, where it's a basically place where hash is produced. It's one of the best hash that you can say in India. Of course, not here, because we have come a long way here in North America and other parts of the world other than Asia. Uh, but apart from that, like, they have the oldest techniques of extracting hash, and Frenchie was there. And I think even if you go right now in Milana, and some of the old people still knows him, still know about his name, like, hey, he was here, he used to live here, he has a small part of land where he used to research and stuff like that. So that's pretty crazy stories, and I was pretty excited to meet him. But of course, like, I'm an immigrant, so I have visa issues every time. Like, let's say you have to
Sure.
file some extensions, this and that. So of course I'm stuck in that, and I couldn't travel to US last year, but I'm planning to do that this year. Hopefully, I'm excited to meet Swami Chaitanya ji and and Kevin Jodry, of course. So they're all gonna be there, and I'm pretty excited to meet them.
Hey, everybody, I want to quickly mention food forest abundance. Food forest abundance is a great way to create your own self sustaining food forest and naturally occurring ecosystem that's commonly found in nature but designed specifically for you. Through multiple layers of trees, shrubs, herbs, vines, rhizomes, mushrooms, and perennial vegetables, you can become your own supply chain without the typical maintenance required of a garden. From small spaces to large areas, both urban and suburban, Food Forest Abundance wants us to get back to our roots in nature by engaging with our food production in a meaningful way. For more information, click on the link in the description below and start your journey today. Okay, let's get back to today's episode.
And learn
Awesome.
from them, of course.
Yeah, of course. The show is my first time, so Rahul, please
Of course.
tell us about the first time you got high on marijuana.
So I was basically in my third year of my bachelor's degree, my business management degree that I did. So it was about like 2013. I was not into cannabis at all. And one random day, one of my friend, he used to study in a different part of the country, and we used to live in a different part. So I used to live in West, and he used to study in South. And somehow, surprisingly, he got this 4 days, 5 days of vacation, and that was pretty sudden. And he just came to where we live, and he had a place. He just invited us. He's like, "Hey, come guys, let's chill. I'm here." That was a surprise that hey, he's here. Uh, he was rolling a joint, and we're like, hey, we usually used to smoke cigarettes and hookahs, but like flavored hookahs, but not cannabis. And I didn't even know how cannabis looks like, right? So I mean, I was pretty young. So he just started rolling a joint, and I was like, okay. And people are passing the joint. I still remember that day, and I have a video of that, of my first experience. So whenever I'm like, I have to show someone, I have that video, and I'm like, I was laughing, like it was unstoppable. I was feeling that, hey, is this some kind of disease after smoking that you cannot stop laughing? And then I got a 2 liter bottle of water, and I drank it and I drank it all in like 1 hour. I was thirsty. I was hungry. I don't know what this feeling is, and I don't know what how to control it. But that was my first time, and my friend, he was like, calm down, nothing's gonna happen, this is fun, this is what it is, this is called cannabis, this is called ganja. And I was like, amazing, this feels great, I have never felt this. So that was my first time. We watched some movies, we had a track going on, like a music track going on, and it went on for like 5 hours repeatedly, but we didn't stop dancing on that. So it was that fun for me. My first time was really magical. And after that, uh, after the first time when I used to smoke, I couldn't control. So I used to literally puke. I used to vomit, like, and
Oh,
I was
wow.
so scared of smoking cannabis outside. Like, let's say you should have a safe space when you're actually starting to smoke, because that safe space will give you a different kind of high. So we used to usually smoke outside, because back then we didn't have a safe space to smoke. And outside, as soon as we smoke outside, I used to get scared. And so I stopped smoking for a bit. I completed my graduation, and now everything was done. And there was this phase where I was just looking for a job and things, like thinking what to do. Uh, and that few months got me into it. And then I was regularly smoking it and happily smoking it. I was able to control my high. I was able to enjoy my high. And then I started looking for more. I started researching about it. And since then and now, I don't even remember like when did I take a tolerance break? Like Yeah,
Now,
but I'd never.
was your
Yeah,
first
but
time, was it in India or in
yeah,
Canada? It was in
my
India.
first time was in India.
Okay.
Of course, it was not that high quality stuff, but whatever it was, like that was my first time, and it got me high. Of course, it got me high. Then I started knowing about like qualities and stuff like that. But of course, back in India, it's illegal, so you cannot get even 1A that we say here, right? Even close, whatever the stuff that you get, it's not even close to 10% THC. So,
Mm.
but we still get high because we have never smoked the hybrid version of it, or we have never smoked the fully feminized version of plant there. So yeah,
Is it is it like highly illegal? If you get caught with a little
it
bit, it's
is.
a harsh
It
penalty.
is. So it's a thing there. So it's basically spiritual.
Okay.
Like people consume it like in different forms. You might have heard about bhang. So bhang is basically a hemp plant, but even the hemp plant has a bit of resin on it, right? So back home they don't know how to just grow feminized plants and grow a fully like without seeds kind of buds. So it's all naturally grown, it's all mixed, so males and females are mixed there, and they actually crush that plant, make a paste of it, mix it with milk and a lot of dry fruits and make a drink. It's called bhang.
Hmm.
So it can be made in lassi. It can be consumed as a dry ball, like a dry. They make like a paste and then dry it out, make balls of it. That ball can get you
Yeah.
high for 3 hours. So
Wow.
that's crazy. But it's consumed like spiritually. Let's say there are some parts of India where there are like legal shops where you can get bhang drinks, bhang lassi, or maybe a dry bhang. But that's only like maybe few, one or two and three. But that's about it. So if you get caught with like the cannabis that we smoke, it's gonna be like 7 years of
Wow.
jail. So that's crazy. And this all came like in 1986. Before that, they didn't even had any laws related to cannabis.
Hmm.
So because it's spiritually used from like so many years, thousands of
Yeah,
years,
yeah.
but yeah, somehow how the world is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. It's a whole nother show.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, thanks for coming on and sharing that story with us. Let everybody know where they can find you and what plans you have for 2022.
Sure. So you can all find me on Instagram at CANNA-INDIAN _. You can find me on Twitter at CANNA-INDIAN. You can also find me on LinkedIn. My name is Rahul Patel. It's RAHUL PATEL. So my plan for 2022 is to complete my course, my Ganjier course. I'm actually into retail space. I'm trying to learn more about the other side of the industry. So that is manufacturing space and growing space. And I want to promote just best of it and not all of it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Uh, it's difficult to promote all of it and be passionate, and I just want to be around the plan. I want to be near the plan and just uh, do something for it and contribute more and more, whatever I could. I don't have any plans to set up my own, whatever, my own things, but I did have a plan to bring some new concept to Canada, which is like mix cannabis with tourism, which a lot of people are trying to do here already. Like there are places like, but it's like still like there are no rules and regulations related to those things. So I think it's there are still it still needs to be worked out. But in future I still have a plans to promote tourism and cannabis together. So we just have like 6 or maybe 4 months of summers, but if in that summers we can create more and more experiences which can enhance like the use of, like I'm not promoting use of cannabis like in that term, but maybe let's say if even you if you're using it for the first time, It should be like an experience. It should be not something scary or something like, hey, I'm not going to do it, or something. Let's say you want to go for a you want to go to play an arcade game or bowling or anything like that. That's an experience, right? Even if you're doing for the first time, it's an experience.
Sure.
So I want to create something like that maybe in future that can help people get more experience using cannabis. It can be anything. It can be boat tours, and it can be maybe playing volleyball on beach, but it could be something. I'm just working on it, so that's my plan. In near future, I might be able to do that. Apart from that, I'm interested to work more and more with people back home, and see what we can do there and create some movement over there. So yeah, I'm trying to gain more and more knowledge, produce some facts here, so that I can produce it back home, whosoever can fight it for it. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, you got a lot going on, my friend. So we appreciate you contributing to the cannabis community. We certainly need people like yourself out there. So thank
Thank
you
you so much,
again.
Mike.
And thank you for coming on the show today. Rahul, the Canna-Indian, you can find him on Instagram at Canna-Indian _, as well as on Twitter and LinkedIn. I'll make sure we have all those links as well. So thank you again, my friend. That's all the dopeness we have for today. And to everyone out there, have a great day. Thanks again.
Thank you so much, Mike. Have a good one.
You're welcome. Smoke them if you got them.